My name is Madison Jones. I am in the 9th grade at Temple Baptist Academy, and today I will be presenting Judges 16, 1 through 30. Then went Samson to Gaza, and saw there an harlot, and went in unto her. And it was told the Gazites, saying, Samson is come hither. And they compassed him in, and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all the night, saying, In the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him. And Samson lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city, and the 2 posts, and went away with them bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and went up to an hill which was before Hebron. And it came to pass afterward, that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and said unto her, Entice him, and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him, to afflict him. And we will give thee, every one of us, 1,100 pieces of silver. And Delilah said to Samson, Tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. And he said unto her, If thou bind me fast with 7 green withs which have not been dried, then shall I be weak, and be as another man. And the lords of the Philistines brought up unto her 7 green withs which had not been dried, and she bound him therewith. Now there are men lying in wait, abiding in the chambers. And she said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awake out of his sleep, and brake them as a threaded tow is broken when it toucheth the fire. So his strength was not known. And she said unto him, Behold, thou hast mocked me, and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If thou bind me fast with new ropes which have not been occupied, then shall I be weak, and be as another man. And she bound him with new ropes therewith, and there were liars in wait, abiding in the chamber. And she said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awake out of his sleep, and brake them from his arms as a thread. And she said unto him, Hitherto thou hast mocked me, and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened it with a pin, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awake out of his sleep, and went away with the pin in the beam, and with the web. And she said unto him, How canst thou say I love thee, when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, that when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, saying, There hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak, and be like any other man. And when she saw that he had showed her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, Come up this once, for he has showed me all his heart. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and brought money in their hand. And she caused him to sleep upon her knees, and called for a man to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. And she said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awake out of his sleep, and said, I will go out as other times before, and shake myself. And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. But the Philistines took him, and put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza, and bound him with fetters of brass. And he did grind in the prison house. Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. And the lords of the Philistines gathered them together, so to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their god. For they praised their God, saying, Our God hath delivered Samson our enemy into our hands. And when the people saw it, they praised their God, saying, Our God hath delivered into our hands our enemy, and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. And it came to pass, that when their hearts were merry, they said, Call for Samson, that he might make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house. And he made them sport, and he set them between the 2 pillars. And Samson said unto the lad which held him by the hand, Suffer me, that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house standeth, that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of all the men and women that were therein, and the Philistines were there too. And there upon the roof about 3,000 men and women, which beheld all Samson make sport. And Samson called unto the Lord, saying, O Lord God, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee only this once. O God, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson took hold upon the 2 middle pillars whereupon the house standeth, and upon which were borne up, of the one with his right hand, and of the other with his left. And he said, Let me die with the Philistines! And he bound himself with all his strength. And behold, the house fell upon all the lords of the Philistines, and all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew in his death were more than they which he slew in his life.